Test. Good afternoon. In about 3 minutes, we will welcome the graduating class and the staff to come in, and I will obviously cue you to do that, just because that's my job, and I think I'm okay at it. What I'd ask all of you to do, please, is silence your phones. If you've got the ringer on, please turn it off. Obviously, you're welcome to take photographs throughout the ceremony, and we look forward to starting in about 3 minutes. Thank you. Ready to go, Troy? You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, if I could get you to stand and welcome the graduating class and the faculty into the tent. Thank you.
Got to get to my space here. Sorry, you're going to have to stand up again, please. So as this is the official closing of the 2018-19 school year, it also coincides with National Indigenous Peoples Day. And I'd like to start by acknowledging the Coast Salish people whose traditional territory Brentwood College School resides on. I express our gratitude to the Malahat and Cowichan nations. We value the opportunity to learn, live, and share educational experiences here on this traditional territory. Please remain standing for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem. Please be seated. Welcome to our closing ceremonies for this year. Under the big top here on Campbell Common on the first day of summer as well. So a special welcome to the Chair of the Board of Governors, an Old Brentonian from the class of 1979, Mr. Blair Horn. Vice Chair of the Board of Governors, an Old Brentonian from the class of 1981, Mrs. Karen Peary. Current Governor, an Old Brentonian from the class of 1982, Mr. John McNeil. Governor, an Old Brentonian from the class of 1969, Mr. Bruce Homer. And Old Brentonian from the class of 1974 and school patron, Mr. David Eisenstadt. Welcome also to parents, family, and friends, particularly those that traveled a long distance to get here. I think the record is 25 hours, I was told, I think. Finally, a warm welcome to the stars of today, our students, the students of Brentwood College School. Congratulations, you made it. To begin, I'd like you to join me in thanking our incredible staff for preparing today's ceremony. This doesn't just happen. From our facilities crew, laundry and housekeeping department, food services staff, IT team, and administrative team, they set the foundation for this, the Brentwood experience. And I'm privileged and humbled to work alongside them. They're amazing. I'm also grateful to work alongside an incredible faculty. I'm grateful for their work and their energy and their passion. But sadly, some will not be returning next year, and I would like to acknowledge them now. Residential faculty assistants, or RFAs, Catherine Alls, Evan Willow, Moira Bell, and Kendra Thompson depart at the end of this school year. From coaching to duties to advising, your positive energy and spirit have left a lasting mark on our school, and we appreciate your service. We will miss you. After her maternity leave, Fiona Dalrymple, math and science teacher, has decided to remain at home with her family, and we look forward to her frequent visits to campus. So she can spend more time with her mother, Wendy Patel is not retiring, but as she calls it, is pre-tiring from her post as Grade 8 coordinator. She is the proud mom of 2 old Brentonians, Antera and Matali, and 5 sets of what she calls her Grade 8 babies. Under this marquee is her first class in the grad class today, and her last class sitting in the stands over there. Grade 8 is, to say it mildly, an awkward year. We thank her for her leadership and her passion for her Grade 8s. After 19 years of service and being mom to 3 graduates, Connor, Delaney, and today Briley, Alana Martin retires. She has been a math teacher, head of field hockey, athletics assistant, and grad class sponsor. She has mentored numerous grad classes during their year. That's not an easy task, but she always did it with an incredible work ethic and a joyful spirit. Tomorrow's graduation dinner dance will be her last, so grads of 2019, let's make it her best. Thank you, Alana. Andrea Felix has had many roles at Brentwood: Whittle House advisor, tennis coach, humanities teacher, counselor, and creator of our Spark program that has transformed our school's culture. Perhaps her biggest and most challenging role, however, is living with Mr. Felix. But more on him later. She's the proud parent of 2 old Brentonians, Ben and Tess, that currently reside in Ottawa. She and Mr. Felix are relocating to Ottawa to reunite the family that now includes 3 grandchildren, and I've been told more on the way. Mrs. Felix, thank you for making Brentwood your home, your priority, and your passion. Thank you, Mrs. Felix. From 1985 to 1988, and then again from 2002 to today, Leslie Carr has been an assistant house parent, languages teacher, field hockey coach, volleyball coach, squash coach, tennis coach, and for 12 years, Allard house parent. She and Brian are the proud parents of 2 graduates, Natalie and Aiden. She's a pioneer of girls boarding, as she was the first house parent of a girls' residence at Shawnigan Lake School, and continued to set a high standard here at her beloved Brentwood. Her constant energy and enthusiasm was most visible as she leapt on tables in her Spanish classroom or on furniture in the Allard House common room. I was so pleased to see such a grand send-off by her mermaids on McLaren Plaza last evening. Leslie, thank you for leaving Brian with us. We're not sure about that. And thank you for your service to your school, Leslie. Thank you. And finally, the grand poobah himself. Marius Felix, or as the girls' rugby team calls him, Fifi, I dare you to call that to his face. When Mr. and Mrs. Felix informed me of their decision to move to Ottawa, my Brentwood heart sank and my family heart grew. As Marius always tells me, family comes first. Mr. Felix's relationship with Brentwood started as a tall, lanky grade 10 boy in 1974. So that's 45 years ago. He's the only one of two people that I am aware of that have won national team honors in rowing and rugby. While he served as a junior teacher in the 1980s, he returned to Brentwood in 2000 to take over Whittle House from the legendary John Queen. His open-door message to the boys meant that no matter the time or concern, he was there for them. Marius has always been a student-first person. They are always his priority. As someone who worked alongside him at Shawnigan and at Brentwood, he has set a standard for me to emulate. Marius was, in my opinion, the best house parent I've ever seen. He's also taught social studies, coached rowing, boys rugby, basketball, and most recently has led our girls rugby program. Head of school Andrea Pennells quickly saw his leadership skills and elevated him to assistant head campus life, and he departs our school this year as deputy head student life. That role is not so glamorous. Sorry about that, Mr. Sullivan. It requires a variety of skills, including patience, persistence, and poise. Marius was never afraid of hard work, hard conversations, or hard decisions. The question that every staff member must ask themselves is, did I leave the school in a better place? From 1974 to now, the answer for Mr. Felix is a resounding yes. Thank you, Marius, for your partnership, your mentorship, and your friendship. Please join me in thanking our culture leader, Mr. Marius Felix. I now invite the Chair of the Board of Governors to make a special presentation on behalf of the Board. Mr. Horn.
Fifi. That's quite the handle. It does take a big man to wear that handle. Marius, you and I have known each other for a long time, and that's a new one for me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my very distinct pleasure today to present on behalf of the school's Board of Governors the Hugh Stephen Award to Mr. Marius Felix. If you'd just give me a moment, I want to put this in context for those that don't know the background. There are lots of awards today and lots of awards that will be given out. This one is unique in the sense that it's the only award that's determined by the board. The rest of these awards are the schools doing. This one is an award from the board. The history on the award is that it recognizes exemplary and lifelong service to the school. The Board of Governors established this award in 1980 to recognize Hugh Stevens, who was the then board chair, long-serving board chair. We give this award out periodically to those who have provided truly extraordinary service to the school. Marius, the board members have all come to know you in various ways, some as parents, some as grandparents. Some of us have known you as students here, and we've shared over 40 years of history. For you and me, it's 44 years. No matter the role, no matter what you were doing, it has always been a role of service. Your service to the school today has left a school that is very, very different than when you first came to this campus, and we want to thank you. And on behalf of the board, we are very pleased to present you with the Hugh Stephen Award today. Before we get to that, Andrea, where are you? Andrea. None of this happens without the love and support of a strong partner and family. So thank you to you and Tess and Ben for sharing Marius. Mr. Felix, would you come up and get this award?
Give me a hand up. Congratulations. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Well, I don't like this kind of stuff. So I'm going to be brief. Thank you, Blair, the board, obviously, for what is a distinct honor. And I did this last week, and I'm going to do it again. To the students, thank you. To the faculty that I've had the great privilege to work with, thank you as well. And most importantly, to my wife, Andrea, who is remarkably special. And I'll relate the story very quickly. 2 weeks after I met my wife, I knew I was going to marry her. 2.5 years later, she figured it out. The only thing I love more than Brentwood is my family. Thank you.
You're not finished with me yet. My apologies. My primary role today is to extend a welcome and a congratulations on behalf of the board. This is a special and bittersweet day. We welcome all the mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, grandparents, extended family. We're thrilled you can be here. On the congratulations side, to this year's grad class, I'd like to extend a heartfelt congratulations from the board. And if you guys could see what happens in the context of our board meetings, there's some special context, I think, to the word heartfelt. This is a very passionate group, and we're thrilled for you. So congratulations. This is a big deal. Well done. While I've got the microphone, I'd like to take 2 more minutes. Those of you who have heard this before and listened and remembered it, I apologize to you. The rest of you, then you can hear it again. This is a very, very unique school, and I have a small ask for each of the graduates and their families. Please do what you can to stay connected with your school. You've been all in while you've been here. The parents have been all in. Even those parents who can't or couldn't get to the school easily have been all in. And when you move on to the next phase of your life, you will be all in there. And it's very easy to lose touch with the school. That was certainly what happened for me. And I would ask that each of you, if you can, find your way to stay connected to the school. It's a remarkable program with, Clayton, students from how many countries around the world? 40. This is a wonderful family. If we can stay connected, it will be a stronger family. And my request is you find the way to do that. So with that, graduates, congratulations again. Well done.
Well done, Mr. Felix. No tears. The over-under was about 2 minutes. It's my privilege to invite Nadia Kendall to the podium to present a gift from the grad class to the school. Nadia.
At the beginning of the year, the grad class of 2019 set a goal to establish an endowed bursary fund in our name, which would provide financial assistance to a student each year in perpetuity. Not only have we, as a class, worked towards achieving this goal, but many parents have also provided support through the annual giving donations. So I'd first like to say thank you to everyone who helped support our initiative. I'm incredibly proud to say that through our efforts, our grad class was able to raise $13,000, and with the help of parent donations, we have collectively raised $83,000 to establish the class of 2019 bursary. This means that, as of September 2019, every year, a student in the school will be able to receive financial assistance from the Class of 2019 fund. This legacy is our parting gift of thanks to Brentwood and our link to future Brentonians, de Manu and Manum. So, on behalf of the Class of Grad of 2019, I would like to present our contribution to the Class of 2019 bursary to Ms. Arden. Thank you.
Thanks, Nadia, and thanks to the grad class of 2019 and their parents as well. In your program, we have once again included information on all major components of the school year, and I encourage you to read these highlights. Certain moments in a school year stick with you. The welcoming of 200 new students and families to our campus during orientation 42 weeks ago sticks with me. Matt McDougall Persilier being called onto the rugby pitch to play in the last 30 seconds of the season to earn his grade 12 cap is something I'll always remember. As they received their bronze medal at the rowing nationals, the junior boys 8 holding up Olin Dahlstrom's unisuit that they kept in the boat during the race to honor Olin, who had broke his leg a few weeks before. Jalen Barth and Amelia Hadfield going where no Brentwood student has ever gone before, gold at the debating nationals. Lulu Jama's moving video during assembly, where she shared with her Brentwood family her recent diagnosis of MS. Mr. Collis's English 12 rap to commend those that received A's in their provincial exam, including a mic drop moment involving Blake Cleesby. The moment of silence for our beloved food services worker and Brentwood mom, Lily Jackson, who tragically passed away in April. Hyundai Kaineragaba's epic Beyonce solo at the concert for a summer's eve. Amazing. The special assemblies for our 5 retiring faculty members that were full of cheers and tears. And today, in fact, about 70 minutes from now, doing one of the most difficult things that we can ever do, saying goodbye to our grads, housemates, and friends. While these moments will forever be embedded in the storybook of 218-19, it was another that I'd like to share with you today. As part of our Old Brentonian engagement strategy, for the first time in our history, we created formal Brentwood community events in London and New York. This trip reminded me of how impactful the Brentwood experience is, years and even decades later. The lesson learned on this campus cross generations and are timeless. While my conversations with our Old Brentonians continue to amaze, it was one with a 2005 Gwyneth House graduate, which is actually Allard House today, that sticks with me. During our travels, Amy Weinberg, our alumni relations manager, and yes, she's the 05 graduate that I'm referring to, shared the lessons of Don Miguel Ruiz. Hailing from Mexico, Ruiz is the youngest of 13 children. That's right, 13 children. Happy Mother's Day indeed. He worked his way through school to become a surgeon and was living a simple and happy life. In 1997, things changed suddenly. He had his black swan moment. A near fatal accident caused him to rethink his priorities, values, and lifestyle. He recalibrated his philosophical mores by studying the ancient Toltec culture, an indigenous group from Mexico, and eventually wrote a book entitled The 4 Agreements. 4 simple, profound, timeless lessons that, if mastered, provide solace, direction, and purpose. The 2005 grad told me that these 4 agreements are the cornerstones of how she lives her life. And here they are. Agreement 1, be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity, Ruiz writes. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word instead in the direction of truth and love. Every day we make promises, sometimes to others, most often to ourselves. We are then empowered to make or break these promises. Our choice impacts how others view us, and perhaps most importantly, how we view ourselves. When broken, people are put into the unreliable, disingenuous, and big talker bucket. If promises are kept, however, you are cast as someone that delivers, as someone that will get the job done, as someone who can be trusted. Agreement 1, be impeccable with your word. The second agreement, don't make assumptions. Ruiz says that we must find the courage to ask questions and to express what we really want. Communicate with others as clearly as we can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. Every day our interactions with others can be complicated, and it can, at times, cause us to jump to conclusions. Whether interpreting the tone of an email, Snapchat message, or conversation. Our fight or flight reflex kicks in, and our protective gene automatically secretes negative assumptions. They don't like me. They don't understand me. Or they're not listening to me. Fighting this initial assumption blast can be challenging, but Ruiz says we must take people at their face value and take their word as an honor code. Lesson 2, don't make assumptions. Agreement 3, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you, he says. What others do and say is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When we are immune to the opinions and actions of others, we won't be the victim of needless suffering. At times, we all have overpowering egos that push us to think that the world revolves around us. No one has it tougher than me. My issues are far more important than yours. This trick can move us into pity party mode, and we begin to take even the minor bits of feedback personally. A recent study of undergraduate students by 4 university professors confirmed Ruiz's concern. One finding from the researchers jumped off at the page, and it says, students with high self-esteem based on false feedback are much more difficult to teach because many cannot take criticism or feedback without assuming that it is personal. Experimental research suggests that such people attempt to preserve their self-esteem not by taking the feedback and altering their behavior, but by attacking the source of that threat. It's not my fault. On February 2nd, our seniors were treated to a presentation by Valerie Young, who spoke about the imposter syndrome. One thing she said that day connects this agreement with the professor's findings. Instead of viewing feedback as a personal critique, she urged us to accept it as a gift to help us improve. That 180-degree reframing is what Ruiz is talking about. Don't take it personally. Instead, accept it as a gift. The final agreement, always do your best. Our best is going to change from moment to moment, he says. It will be different when we're healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, however, if we simply do our best, we will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. While I love the previous 3 agreements, this lesson is perhaps the most important and arguably the most easy to control. We don't need a teacher, house parent, art instructor, coach, advisor, or parent to tell us that we're not performing at our best. The only person that really knows is the one staring back at us in the mirror. In our heart of hearts, we know if we've prepared for that exam, trained for that event, and completed that task. Not to a minimal standard, but our best standard. We may not always get there, but surely we must strive to be our best selves. Be impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. Don't take it personally. And always do your best. If we can do what Ms. Weinberg does and live by these 4 simple agreements that transcend generations and time, we will have a good chance of enjoying the wonders of Brentwood and the wonders of the world. So thank you, Brentwood, for making 2018-19 a year full of wonders, lessons, and agreements. And it is an honor to serve alongside you as well. Thank you very much. I now invite Head Prefect Lulu Jama to share some final thoughts with the school. Lulu is a wonderful reflection of this year's graduating class, kind, considerate, and inclusive. But to be clear, she's also focused, prepared, and passionate. At all times, however, Lulu's leadership was grounded and fun-loving. Her optimism radiated across this campus and helped make this year so special. Please welcome to the podium your Head Prefect, Lulu Jama.
Good afternoon. On September 3rd, 2016, I strolled onto this campus without fear or excitement. I was simply indifferent. So my sister showed me around campus, and then we arrived here at Coast Hall behind me where Mr. Patel was standing by the dinner line greeting the returning students on their way in. Hello, welcome back, good to see you. Did you have a good summer? The usual. Finally, my sister and I were close enough to him that we were able to make eye contact. And then he slowly started coming towards me and gave me a great big hug. Welcome back, sweetheart. It's so great to see you. I paused and thought, okay, weird dude that I don't know. Right after me, he embraced my sister. It was then that a light bulb went on in his head and realized that he hugged someone who looks a lot like me. Oh, I hugged the wrong one, didn't I? Of course, I chuckled and responded, "No worries, sir, it happens all the time." From that day, my first impression of Brentwood was set. Oh, this is gonna happen all the time. I'm just going to be Balkis's little sister. And who is this fool anyway? Needless to say, I found out he was the head of school rather quickly. That aside, what I should have noticed from the get-go was what I should have noticed from the get-go was Mr. Patel's immediate instinct to give me a hug, rather than his very awkward mistake. Granted, he didn't technically mean to give me a hug, but I was hugged nonetheless. As the months went on, I began realizing the culture at Brentwood, where the staff and faculty are not only our educators and caretakers, but they are our friends and our mentors. Brentwood can be unique in that way, but everyone thinks their school is unique that way. Just listen to every valedictorian speech ever. Although the only thing that will make Jaylin's speech more bearable is if she just doesn't speak at all. But that's my own personal opinion. So what is Brentwood truly unique for? The fact that we are a social experiment set by the government to see how a bunch of sexually charged teenagers would do in a confined space? Yes. But the students really know what Brentwood is. It is a place where kids complain about the food that can probably feed my entire tribe back in Somalia. A place where rolling kilts and wearing socks at the ankle is a civil rights movement. Where there's a thing called cookie break, and we still wonder why we got the freshman 15 in high school. A school in which their students' Gmail inboxes are primarily filled with emails from reception asking if anyone has seen little Susie's lost AirPods. In those regards, Brentwood truly is unique in that way. On day one, kids arrive being confused and afraid, but they end up coping with it rather well. With the help of our amazing health center staff, the school counselors, the endlessly supportive teachers, the extraordinary catering staff, our talented groundskeeping and facilities team, the hardworking housekeeping team, the wonderful ladies in laundry, and our extremely dedicated house staff, we have been given every avenue possible to succeed. So for that, you truly cannot be thanked enough. To the administrative staff, we quite literally would not be here without you. And I want to express my deepest gratitude for finally accepting my bribes to finish the year off at Brentwood. So before leaving, I'm instructed to impart some advice moving forward to prepare yourselves for in the future. So sit back and listen to my 18-year-old wisdom. To the grade 8s going to grade 9, get ready for the beginning. Everything and everyone will be new to you. But go out of your way to make new friends, because you never know whose parents are millionaires. It's true, it's true. To the grade 9s embarking on a new adventure in grade 10, hold on to those millionaire friends. And secondly, don't stress about school. The amazing thing about grade 10 is that it is a full year of your life that you can spend just figuring out what you simply enjoy. So take full advantage of that. For you grade 10s going into grade 11, this is your year to really crack down on time management skills, because sometimes you can't watch Netflix for 4 consecutive hours every day for nearly a week. I found that out the very, very hard way. People say it's the hardest academic year, but really only you can determine that. And to you poor grade 11s that will be taking on the burden of leadership roles next year, good luck. It truly is a blessing in disguise, but your ultimate goal should be to set the tone in the school, because you'll be the trendsetters. You'll miss us when we're gone until you realize you're probably doing a better job than us already. And now, to my favorite cohort in the school, the adults. Listen up. Number 1, get rid of all those whiteboard markers that have been lounging there since 2009. Stop trying to use them, realize they're dry, get mad at the last teacher who left them there, and then put them right back on the board. This seems like a universal issue. And number 2, when you're showing us a YouTube video in class, please stop torturing us and move the cursor off the screen so we don't have to watch each second of the video go by, making it feel slower than it already is. I recognize your generational difficulty with technology, but just watch a tutorial or something. To some, the year has felt like a million. To others, it felt like a second. But know that this is the end of another Brentwood year. We'll one day look back and think, I went there. Some of us will have that thought rather soon, and some of us in the audience are likely thinking the same thing. And I'll be honest, I'll miss this multiracial Brady bunch of a family. I'll miss my second family, maybe more than my first family. I'll miss the 7 a.m. bell waking me up every morning, sounding like a fire alarm, waking up, but then ultimately falling back asleep and being late to class, as it is every morning. I might even miss the 5 sign-ins that we used to have as juniors on a Sunday for some unknown reason that we all truly know about. If you're in the know, you're in the know. If you're not, sorry. I'll remember you all in my long years of therapy yet to come, I'll say. But instead of thinking about what I'm leaving behind, I'm excited for the future. Finally, I do not have to go to the same school as my younger brother for another year. It's bittersweet, I'll admit. So I might miss hitting you in the hallway every once in a while, kid. So students, we made it. Parents, we're sorry you're broke now. I mean, I don't. And teachers, you're welcome for some of us finally getting out of your hair. In the wise words of Mrs. Felix, do ordinary things to make extraordinary changes. I've never heard truer words. As I end here today, I want to leave you with an ancient Arabic phrase that perfectly encapsulates Brentwood. اهرب بعيد قبل أن يستول الناس الأغنياء فلوسك أكثر مما آخذ منك. Which means, if we look back at our lives for too long, we'll forget to appreciate what the present has and the future will in store. Be bold, Brentwood. It has been an honor to serve as your head prefect. So HP, out.
Wow, I didn't realize that I'd done that, Lulu. Thanks for giving me the heads up. Subject prizes now, and I invite Deputy Head Cheryl Murtland to the podium to present those. please welcome her to the podium. There you go. There you go.
Good afternoon. This year has brought about many opportunities for learning in all areas of the school. One that was brought to the faculty's attention was the work of Dr. Daniel Siegel, who wrote the book Brainstorm. In this book, he lays out the fascinating workings of the teenage brain. It allows us to better understand and how to capitalize on the strengths at this particular stage of brain development. He summarized his research into the word essence. ES is emotional spark. As teens, you make a lot of decisions based on emotion. Have you noticed that? When we look at learning, in order to have it last, it often has to be tied to emotion. Joy, frustration, excitement. SE is social engagement. There is a reason why you demand more collaborative learning spaces on campus. Most of you like to learn in community and through engaging with your peers. That doesn't mean it's like that all the time for you, but there do need to be opportunities for you to learn in this way. N is novelty. When something is novel, it is new, it is intriguing. It is something that brings about your curiosity. So then you want to learn more. And finally, there is CE, creative exploration. You seek opportunities to explore and ask questions where you may not know the answer. Essence is a great metric to measure your day, your year, your experience. Your brain is physiologically designed to be at its best when you have these components. So I encourage you to build them into your experience and remind us to continue to do so as well. So last week we were able to acknowledge the accomplishments of many students during our internal awards ceremony, and those names are printed in the back of your program. For today's subject prizes and heads awards, the students will be called up in groups to await their turn at the side of the stage, and then they'll be called on stage to be recognized for academics, arts, and athletics. The names of all award winners will be made available to you in the final program, which will be emailed. The awards will be presented alphabetically by grade. So for students, if your name is announced, I would ask you to come to the side of the stage, and Mr. McCarthy will help you to go onto stage at the appropriate time, where you will be presented with your award. After receiving it, you head out towards the front of the bunch, and when the whole grade has been completed, you'll have your picture taken by Mr. Fletcher, and then you can return to your seat. To help us present awards in many cases, we have asked our retiring teachers to assist to recognize their contributions to Brentwood. We are going to begin with the grade 8 prizes. Before I call up the students who were the award winners, I would just like the grade 8s to stand as a class and be recognized for their hard work this year. So I'll ask Mrs. Patel to come up on the stage. She will be presenting the prizes, and then the students will shake Mr. Patel's hand. You've had your moment? You're good? Okay. Okay. That's enough information for us. Would the following grade 8 students please make their way to the side of the stage? Aidan Atkins, Ty Dahlstrom, Jack Doler, Dylan Gage, Kaylee Hedquist Marshall, Jaden Lust, Sky Murdoch, Miranda Navarro Perez, Merlin Nelson, and Davis Pettit. I would ask that we hold our applause until after the whole group has been presented with their awards. Aidan Atkins, Core French 8. Just hold on. I know it's tempting. Ty Dahlstrom, Social Studies 8, Heads Academics Award. Jack Doler, Science 8. Dylan Gage, Math 8. Kaylee Hedquist Marshall, English 8. Jaden Lust, Physical Education 8. Sky Murdoch, Art Rotation 8. Miranda Navarro Perez, French Immersion 8. Merlin Nelson, Innovations 8. Davis Pettit, Art Rotation 8. Congratulations. Thank you, Mrs. Patel. We will now continue with our grade 9 class, and I invite Mrs. Leslie Carr to the stage to assist and ask our grade 9s to stand as a class and be recognized for their hard work this year. And would the following grade 9 students please make their way to the side of the stage? Nina Berry, Sophia Bossi, Nicole Chan, Lucinda Gullison, Rosie Kuntz, Jocelyn Lenarchich, Lisa Marisuka, Emily Nemo, Solange Stewart Hansen, Auntie Vu. Our grade 9 winners, Nina Berry, French Immersion 9. We'll save it till the end of the group. Sophia Bossi, Heads Athletics Award. Nicole Chan, 21st Century Studies 9. Lucinda Gullison, English 9 and Social Studies 9. Rosie Kuntz, Spanish 11. Jocelyn Lenarchich, Heads Athletics Award. Lisa Marikusa, Math 9. Emily Nemo, Spanish 9. Solange Stewart Hansen, Science 9. Auntie Vu, Beginners Mandarin 9. And as well as these subject award winners, several students will see their names in the final program that gets sent out as runner-up to several of these awards. These students are Abby Leclerc, Ian Van Leuven, Michaela Varga, and Geronimo Zerkovich. So congratulations to our grade 9s. Thank you to Mrs. Carr, and I would call Mrs. Andrea Felix to the stage to assist with the grade 10 awards and ask the grade 10s as a class to stand up and be recognized for their work. The grade 10s will be called up in 2 groups. So the first group is Tarek Ansari, Robin Argument, Roheen Arun, Ifeini Ayaduno, Ankit Bakshi, Rasheen Buckley, Olin Dahlstrom, McCoy Fleming, Sarah Golding, Blanca Grobelar, Derek Harrison, and Sloan Jesse. We have a few that got caught in the back. Robin Argument, Beginner's Spanish. Roheen Arun, French 10, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Ifeini Ayaduno, Heads Athletics Award. Ankit Bakshi, Heads Arts Award. Rasheen Buckley, Mandarin 12. Olin Dahlstrom, Heads Athletics Award. McCoy Fleming, Heads Arts Award. Sorry, McCoy's not here. Sarah Golding, Biology 11. Blanca Grobelar, Heads Arts Award. Derek Harrison, Science 10, Spanish 12, Heads Academics Award. There's McCoy. That's our first group. Our second group, Justin Liu, Callum McAllister, Kennedy McDermott, Maddie McReynolds, Marina Munoz-Utasa, Jack Napier-Ganley, Adrian Roy, Sean Ryan, Olivia Sass, Elsa Stevenson, Jacqueline Yoon, Bonnie Zhang. Justin Liu, Heads Arts Award. Callum McAllister, Social Studies 10. Kennedy McDermott, AP Seminar 11, Heads Arts Award. Maddie McReynolds, Spanish 10. Marina Munoz-Utasa, French 9. Jack Napier-Ganley, Introduction to Business 11, Heads Athletics Award. Adrian Roy, French 12, Science and Ethics 11, Heads Academics Award. Sean Ryan, Coding Robotic Applications 11. Olivia Sass, Heads Academics Award. Elsa Stevenson, English 10. Jacqueline Yoon, Heads Arts Award. Bonnie Zhang, Math 10, Heads Academics Award. And as with our grade 9 students, students named as a runner-up who were not on stage are Mahir Arora, Olivia Barsh, Kiara Lee, Antonia Machnik, and Maddie West. So congratulations to our grade 10s. We will now continue with our grade 11s, and I would like to ask Mr. Stephen Prokopchuk, the instructional leader for the mathematics department, who is not retiring, he's returning, to the stage to assist. And then for our grade 11s to rise as a group so that they can be recognized for their work this year. Grade 11s, we have a few groups. So our first group of students to go to the side of the stage is, Michael Bang, Callum Blake Courier, Asia Kopp, Isis De Silva, Reese Fogner-Ruckus, Ryan Ford, Susanna Graham, Oliver Green, Jasleen Gruel, Alana Guinea, and Amelia Hadfield. Hurry up, Michael. Michael Bang, Advanced Topics in Mathematics 12, Chemistry 12, Physics 11, and the Hugh Brackenbury Plate. Callum Blake Courier, Heads Arts Award. Asia Kopp, Heads Athletics Award. Isis De Silva, Music Theory Composition 12. Reese Fogner-Ruckus, Heads Athletics Award. Ryan Ford, Mandarin 10. Susanna Graham, French 11. Oliver Green, Entrepreneurship 12. Jasleen Gruel, Heads Academics Award. Alana Guinea, Heads Arts Award. Amelia Hadfield, AP Art History 12, English 11, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. That's our first group. For our second group, Keaton Heisterman, Ray Kondo, Oren Levy, Evan Lin, Evan Luxe, Yanin Nirmai, Oladimiji Olatobusin, Jack Peary, Book Playing Siri, Sarah Richards, Atisha Roach-Lloyd, Ben Rousseau, Arnaud Torin, and Jamie Trow. Keaton Heisterman, Chemistry 11, Political Studies 12, Heads Athletics Award. There's Ray. I couldn't see him. Ray Kondo, Pre-Calculus 12. Oren Levy, Applied Coding Explorations 11. Evan Lin, Pre-Calculus 11. Evan Luxe, AP Microeconomics 12. Yanin Nirmai, Heads Arts Award. Oladimiji Olatubusin, AP US History 12, Heads Arts Award. Jack Peary, Mandarin 11. Book Playing Siri, Heads Arts Award. Sarah Richards, Comparative Cultures 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Atisha Roach-Lloyd, Heads Arts Award. Ben Rousseau, Heads Arts Award. Arnaud Torin, Heads Athletics Award. Jamie Trow, Heads Athletics Award. The names of students who were named as a runner-up but not on stage are Moritz Freiby, Tatum Gray, Nathan Lopez, Desola Ogunlade, and Quinn Posley. Congratulations to our grade 11s. I'd like to thank Mr. Prokopchuk for the grade 11s and call Mrs. Alana Martin, not only the person who worked tirelessly with our grads this year and for many years, but also the mother of one of our graduates. I know we've clapped for them a lot today, but I wouldn't want to leave them out. If the grade 12s could please stand and be recognized for all your hard work this morning, or this year. Thank you. And similar to the grade 11s, we have groups of students because of the numbers. So our first group, Luke Androsky, Jalen Barth, Maggie Bresden, Jyoti Brown, Veronica Krennick, Blake Cleesby, Sunil Cotterill, Jaya Doman, and Ashley Divestein. I'll just get Luke to tuck his shirt in before he comes up on stage. His mom is sitting right here. I had to say it. Thank you. Luke Androsky, Heads Arts Award. Jalen Barth, Ruth Bull Prize for Literature 12, Writing 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Maggie Bresden, AP Human Geography 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. Jyoti Brown, BC First Peoples 12. We'll have to wait until the end of the group. Veronica Krennick, AP Macroeconomics 12, and the Jerry Pennells Prize for Biology 12. Blake Cleesby, Heads Athletics Award. Sunil Cotterill, Calculus 12, the Bruce Tate Award for Physics 12, and Heads Academics Award. Jaya Doman, Financial Accounting 12, Geology 12. Ashley Divestein, Geography 12. This is our first group. No, you need to stay, Miss Martin. We still have lots of grade 12s to come. For our second group to come to the side of the stage, Amira Esabar, Sofia Franco, Fabiana Gutierrez, Haley Hawken, Jeremy Hounsome, Sumin Kang, Caden Kuntz, Robbie Crissel, Yuma Kuga, and Emma Menzik. Is Amira there? No? Okay. Sofia Franco, Heads Arts Award. Fabiana Gutierrez, Heads Arts Award. Haley Hawken, AP Environmental Science 12. Jeremy Hounsome, Heads Arts Award. Sumin Kang, Nicholas R.P. Prowse Prize for 20th Century World History 12. Caden Kuntz, Arthur Privet Prize for English 12, Heads Academics Award. Robbie Crissel, Heads Arts Award. Yuma Kuga, Heads Arts Award. Emma Menzik, Judith Mason Award for AP Studio Art 12, Heads Academics Award, Heads Arts Award. This is our second group. And for our third group, Ben McDonald, Caitlin Moreland, Chloe Oldland, Jama O'Malley, Liam Phillip, Maria Rousseau, Benjamin Stevenson, Vanessa Van Decker, William Weimeyer, and Lindsay Winchip. Ben McDonald, Heads Athletics Award. Caitlin Moreland, Foundations of Math 12. Chloe Oldland, Heads Arts Award. Jama O'Malley, AP Comparative Government and Politics 12, AP Research 12, Harris and Company Scholarship for Law 12, and Heads Academics Award. Liam Phillip, Heads Arts Award. Maria Rousseau, Heads Arts Award. Benjamin Stevenson, Heads Arts Award. Vanessa Van Decker, AP Computer Science Principles 12, the Andrew Rame Memorial Award, and Heads Academics Award. William Weimeyer, Heads Arts Award. Lindsay Winchip, Heads Athletics Award. And students who were named as a runner-up in grade 12 who have not been on stage are Tochukwu Ayaduno, Erica De Assis Chen, Jack Figurinas, Grace Liang, Lily Moen, Isaac Stevens, Lucas Ersprung, and Ettore Zufa. That's our grade 12 winners. And to close my section, I just wanted to say that we often speak of the Brentwood family, and it's not a marketing campaign, it really is who we are. It can seem a bit strange, and yet it's what's so very special about this place. And as a geographer, a sense of place is something that I hold dear. To be able to have a sense of place, you need to have a strong identity that the inhabitants and visitors alike can feel. And to me, that's Brentwood. A couple of people have already mentioned the importance of our support staff. And when I think of them, I think of those who braved a snowstorm this year to keep coming back to campus when the roads were closed and other people couldn't make it here because they knew there were students that relied on them to feed them and take care of them. That helps create this identity. If you have a chance to look through a yearbook, you'll see the themed costumes of our housekeeping staff and participation of staff in sports and arts. A consequence of the increase in online shopping is the number of packages that get processed through reception every day. Parents, you might know or not know about that, I'm not sure. But all of these pieces work together to create an experience for our students. And so I would ask you to join me in just helping show our appreciation for all these support staff that help get us to where we are.
Helping him up to the stage is Bud Patel, but it's really Marius Felix's time. Mr. Felix.
I did it myself. Oh. Thanks. Cheers, buddy. After Bud said those really nice things about me earlier, I've had to totally change my comments. Oh, forget it. I have the distinct privilege and honor of recognizing the first batch of our major award winners. And I'd like to call Eileen Mays to the stage. Please, Eileen. If you don't know, Eileen has been running Alex's house for a long time. And she is amazing, an absolutely amazing person and house parent. So, the Hogan Memorial Shield recognizes grade 9 students whose citizenship is unquestionable and whose leadership potential is couched within a lively and positive personality. The two winners this year are Anna Draper and Jacob Hart. Anna has immersed herself in her program and has distinguished herself through her low-key but positive and determined attitude. And Jacob is a bundle of energy and enthusiasm who exudes positivity, inclusiveness in everything he does. Congratulations. The Davis Award is also a grade 9 award for a grade 9 student or students whose impressive academic effort is complemented by a strong co-curricular contribution. This year's winners are Jocelyn Lenarchich and Christian Everbush Miranda. Jocelyn is an excellent academic, a developing artist, and a talented athlete who, if my math is correct, represented the school in 5 sports this year. And Christian has a 94% average and is also an excellent athlete. Sadly, he was injured this year, but nonetheless found a way to contribute to his teams. Well done. The Brentwood Trophy is for grade 10 students who have an outstanding degree of selflessness indicated by a strong desire to serve the community and the school as a whole. This year's deserving winners are Sophie Hapkirk and Jack Napier-Ganley. Sophie is a courageous student who rocked the house literally on stage this year in the rock band while fully immersing herself in her academics and her sports. And Jack is a leader in all aspects of his program and has earned the deep respect of his peers, coaches, and teachers. Well done. For years, Bud has teased me about the size of my head. Often saying that it's so big it has 3 of its own moons. So for all of that grief, today I get my revenge. Yesterday, Bud asked me a bit of advice about his speech. Should I be charming? Should I be witty? Should I be an intellectual? I said, no, just be yourself. The Mackenzie Award is also a grade 10 award for the superior academic student of the junior school. I'll mention 2 runners-up and then the winner. One runner-up is Roheen Arun, and the other is Adrian Roy, whose averages were 96%. Very impressive. The winner, however, who has an average of 96.5% while in grade 10 also studying 2 grade 12 courses, one of which is pre-calc 12, is Derek Harrison. Congratulations. My average in high school for all 5 classes totaled 96%. Just kidding. It was 92%. Well done. The Eaton Family Award is a grade 11 award for a grade 11 student or students who show integrity, initiative, and an appreciation for the opportunities provided by the Brentwood College tripartite program. This year's winners are Callum Blake Courier and Ola Demije Olatambosu. Described as a true gentleman without an ounce of ego in his personality, Callum is an excellent athlete, performer on stage, and a student who sets an outstanding example for our community. Dee is a national champion musician, top-class debater, a ferocious rugby player, and also an outstanding student who exudes character and commitment. Well done. The Michael Apatowicz Memorial Trophy, or Award, recognizes grade 12 students, graduates who carry a courageous spirit of adventure and a strong self-belief through a wide range of interests. This year's deserving winners are Axel Iwashko and Taya Kleinschmidt. Axel is an excellent student who has also stood out on stage with his excellent guitar skills and his leadership and ability as a national champion rower. And Taya earned colors in arts and sports. Her artistic sensibility is in sharp contrast to her power and speed on the rugby field. You do not want to tackle this woman. This morning, as I was getting ready to make my comments today, I went through the grad class. 48 of 153 have found their way in my office over the last 4 years. It's almost 1/3 of the class. So I'd like all of you to take this word of advice. Talk is cheap until you hire a lawyer. The Kathleen Bryan Memorial Award is also a grade 12 award for graduates who, in response to Brentwood, ultimately demonstrate that close, personal, meaningful relationships form the basis for growth and development. We have a runner-up, that is M.A. Lorente. The winners are Blake Cleesby and Haley Hawken. Blake, above all, has been a great teammate on the hockey and rugby teams, and more importantly, a good friend, especially when some of his good mates have had difficult challenges. The deep respect Haley has earned as the Allard House captain and with her grad class is impossible to measure. She is quite simply a wonderful person. Congratulations. George Keeley Award for grade 12 students as well is for graduates whose aesthetic sensibility inspires others. Again, we have a runner-up, and that person is Fabiana Gutierrez. The winners are Robbie Crystal and Chloe Oland. Robbie is an award-winning and nationally recognized photographer, and he is essentially, under Mr. Armitage's guidance, run the theater, which is most impressive. He also accumulated over 500 hours of volunteering, which is incredible. Chloe, an excellent student and a wonderful person, will long be remembered as a talented and highly creative actor, remember the arms bit, and has been incredibly empowering and supportive to her peers. Well done. The Ken Creer Memorial Award is for graduate or graduates whose athletic endeavor inspires others. And this year's winners, Ian Grabber and Abdullah Hamama. Ian is a provincial champion basketball player from last year, an island champion this year where he garnered MVP honors, and Abdullah has been a stalwart of the first 15 for the last 2 years, a bronze medal winner this year, and also recognized as a BC High School All-Star. Well done. Sometimes our assemblies can drag on, and Bud can be a bit long-winded. Not a bit, okay. Bud can be long-winded. So long, in fact, that he could put a glass eye to sleep. The Callan Family Award is awarded to 2 graduates who are loyal, enthusiastic, buoyant, caring citizens for the community and keen to do well academically, athletically, and artistically. This year's winners are Veronica Chenrick and Alexander Culberson. Veronica has been a varsity volleyball player, soccer player, a creative filmmaker, a stalwart leader in Mackenzie House, and a superb student. And Alex has ably led the SAC, the Student Activities Committee, exceptionally well, coordinating more than 30 social events for the students this year, all while earning an A average and captaining the golf team. Well done. The final award I'm presenting is the Bruce M. Hicks Award for Public Service. It's for a student or students who, through their actions, has done the most to ameliorate the conditions of disadvantaged individuals or groups as based on the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This year's winners, deserving winners, Maggie Bredston and Hazel Woodbridge. Humbly and without fanfare, Maggie has earned her arts and academic colors, won the Concilium Award for Excellence in Model UN, and has accumulated more than 300 hours of volunteer work to her credit. Hazel has been the leading light of our Omni organization and has been tremendous support to students who have been able to define themselves without judgment, both within our community and beyond. Congratulations. One word of advice to the grads. The best thing about learning from experience is that you never graduate. Thank you. I'll miss you. No, I'm not going to sit down. I know.
It's my great honor to acknowledge the following graduates and reward their experience in grade 12, but more of an honor for me to allow Mr. Felix to be the one to present the awards, a great mentor for me over the years, and I just congratulate him again. And I know we've talked a lot about it, but his importance, especially for the house parents, can't be understated. So thank you, Mary. All right, the Peyton Trophy for an outstanding citizen in recognition of strong contribution to both athletics and arts. The runner-up is Isaac Stevens. The winners, Ben McDonald and Wilhelmine Poland. No. The next award is the Powell Cup for a graduate with an outstanding degree of selflessness, indicated by a strong desire to serve the community and the school as a whole. The runner-up is Erica de Assis Chan. The winners, Phoebe Habkirk and Nadia Kendall. The Brentonian Shield for a graduate who has encouraged a love of scholarship through either personal attitude and achievement or assistance to others. The two winners, Sunil Cotterill and Caden Kuntz. The next award is the Holmes Cup in honor of Major Cuthbert Holmes, co-founder of Brentwood College in Brentwood Bay and governor 1923 to 1948, and his son Pip Holmes, governor from 1971 to 2007. For the graduate whose outstanding citizenship exemplifies care for the school and wider community, Haley Fear and Marquita Zolman. The Mary Brooks Law Award, provided by Gwen Davis, and to parallel the award given to her son Wade, class of 71, on entering Harvard University. This award is for the graduate who shows promise, strength of character, and personality. The runner-up, Matthew McDougall Persilier. Two winners, Sebastian Miranda, and Chantel Pavlis. The next award is the Bouchard Trophy for the Ducks, the leading academic student in the senior school. We have two individuals to recognize. The runner-up, Jama O'Malley, with an academic average, a measly 97.33%. And the winner of the Ducks, 2018-2019, is Jalen Barth with an academic average of 98.50. Next award is the Teagill Bunch Cup in memory of Teagill Bunch, faculty member from 1961 to 1993, assistant headmaster 1966 through 1991, and is presented originally in the memory of Forrest Rogers, class of 1934, governor of 1961 to 1972, and board chair from 1962 through to 1971. It's for the graduate who displays, in addition to scholastic and artistic excellence, stability and strength of character, together with a willingness to serve. The award winner, Maria Rousseau. Our next award is the Yarrow Shield, provided by Norman Yarrow, founding governor of Brentwood College in Brentwood Bay in 1923. This goes to the graduate who displays, in addition to scholastic and athletic excellence, stability and strength of character, together with a willingness to serve. That sounds exactly like the Teagill Bunch Cup. Maybe a typo. This deserving winner, Chichuko Ayadono. Our next award is the Bill Ross Trophy, the William T. Ross Trophy in honor of William T. Ross, faculty 1962 to 2000, headmaster from 1976 to 2000. Many people would say that Bill Ross was a larger-than-life character. A fitting winner for this year, Jacob Bossy. The last award in this section is the Andrea Pennells Cup in honor of Andrea Pennells, faculty from 1982 to 2012, assistant headmaster 1991 through to 2000, head of school from 2000 to 2012. Very deserving winner. I think we've already acknowledged her this afternoon, but let's get her back up here one more time. Lulu Jama, head prefect 2019.
I just noticed as he's walking by me the size of his head and the size of my head. Just saying. Just stating facts.
That's because his head is a moon.
Thank you, Mr. Felix and Mr. Sullivan for those awards. Just got to cue myself here. I believe it's the valedictorian speech. Where is my, oh, there it is. It is. Please welcome to the podium the valedictorian for 2018-19, Jalen Barth.
It's funny. I've spent my career at Brentwood speaking fairly relentlessly, and now I'm up here and I find I don't quite know what to say. Though the same cannot be said for our head prefect, who once again proved that the only thing she likes more than Tinder notifications is the sound of her own voice. But with little else to do, I suppose I should start with a story. In grade 9, I came to Brentwood about 4 inches shorter and looking a little bit like Ellen DeGeneres, if Ellen DeGeneres was a young tween boy trying to figure out his sexuality. But whether or not I looked a little bit like a brunette Q-tip, it was then that I was introduced to a new family that I not only grew to appreciate, but can now say I grew to love. But if Brentwood was a story, I recognize better than most that I am not its main character. The characters at Brentwood are diverse and interesting and very much dumb teenagers. Early on, we broke into different groups, like the shut-in nerds, the protein jocks, and the suffering artists. Despite being sure that my mad sports skills would get me propelled into this cool squad, I was pretty quickly classified as a narky intellectual. For you parents, the kind of kid you think you raised, but definitely didn't. But this is where Brentwood stopped being like any other school. I mean, high school is high school no matter where you go. Sometimes you open the arts bathroom door and you wonder where the fog machine is. Or, of course, you hear that one of your friends has chosen to finish their academic year off campus. But it's the people here that make it different. Early on, I made friends that I'm pretty sure would have wanted to shove me in a locker just 4 years ago. There are groups in our grad class, but they are not the stereotypes you would expect. I knew basketball players who doubled as debaters in the afternoon. They weren't very good, but they could read, so it was a start. I also got to know the troublemakers, and despite all the odds, we do have a full set of twins graduating this year. But the year kept going. I diversified dinners with the Wakanda squad. I watched the ODP kids do whatever it is the ODP kids do. And I joined in on cheering on those rowers, not so much for winning national medals, but for making it back with the whole team intact. And at the end of it all, I found love. Or at least I will find love when Varshab answers my text. Varshab, please answer my text. But it wasn't just my peers. It was the staff, and importantly, the house parents who doubled as our family, a better family for me, you know who you are. I found solace in some amazing coaches and teachers, and it wasn't just me. Almost every student has a particular staff member they would be willing to tell what they actually do during breaks. We have a support system so unique that it ranges from Mr. Lee, Brentwood's own surveillance camera who judges your 3 a.m. Google searches, to the health center ladies who are the backbone of this school and deserve their own awards ceremony. And of course, we grads owe the world to the lovely people at University Counseling, who found out early on this year that our grad class's biggest talent is in lowering standards and killing expectations. But here we are at last, though some of us took a couple tries. Maya Jenner. There are hundreds of classes behind us and an unknown future stretching ahead. We sit here, waiting under this circus tent like the clowns we resemble, facing a future that is equally promising as it is terrifying. I'm not going to preach to you. I went to Catholic school, so that would give me traumatic flashbacks. And people smarter than me are going to give you better advice in the years to come. So instead, grad class, parents, whatever, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. Go wreck things. Wreck expectations, wreck predictions, wreck the plot lines that other people have decided upon, because the story that I'm telling you doesn't yet have an ending. The success that we have just achieved is as impermeant as any failure we still believe to define us. There is no blank slate for you, because even a blank slate suggests an element of confinement. We all realize that this graduation is a step toward adulthood. But don't let yourself mourn the loss of youth, as celebrate the barriers that will fall with it. We are not radically different people than we were this morning, waiting anxiously just to touch our diplomas. We are the same people with new convictions. So I tell you to go make a mess of things. The rules of what is possible and permissible were made by people who have never known you. Maybe if they had, they would have written their narrative just a little bit differently. In the last few years, we have experienced wonderful things. We have got into university. We have been rejected from university. We have met new people. We have met incredible new people. I don't have to tell you that Brentwood is a bizarre comedy of teenage angst. I don't need to tell you that we are going to remember these days as something wondrous. So instead, I will tell you this. It hasn't always been an easy few years. But through it all, knowing that you were there for me, my friends, my family, and my mentors, that no matter what happened, we would be able to look each other in the eye and say that we made it, that's what kept me believing in this school. My love for Brentwood and my love for you grads is the same love. I once described Brentwood as a friendly community, where the people are compassionate, the opportunities are limitless, and the parents are rich. It still is. I know nowhere friendlier. I know nowhere more brimming with potential. And never before have I rubbed elbows with all these millionaires. This is not the end of my story. Don't let it be the end of yours.
iPad. Oh, there it is. No, I've got it. Thank you, Jaylyn. You can see how she won the debating national championships now. The penultimate act, the Interhouse Trophy for 2018-19. Miss Sarah Hall, sorry.
Good afternoon. 4 years ago, Marius Felix pulled me into his office and tasked me with organizing Interhouse. And I don't think I fully knew what that would entail, but it has been a lot of fun. Alas, it will leave my hands at the end of this year. Each year has been filled with fierce competition, and I want to take an opportunity right now to ask the Interhouse captains to please stand up and for all the students to recognize their hard work this year. Events range from tennis to soccer, drawing and painting to impromptu speaking, and of course, the ever-competitive spelling bee. As the house colors and pride fill the bunch theater or the field, the love you have for each of your houses is what makes each of these events so special. Thank you to all the staff who helped run an event or supervise an event this year, because without you, this would not be what it is now. This year, we ran 17 events, and we represented all three aspects of our tripartite program. Finally, thank you to all the students. You guys show up, you play hard, you spell words that I've never even heard before, and you support your house with love and take down other houses with less than kind love as well. So, the overall results. In fourth place, with 220 points, Alex Whittle. Which I hope Alex Whittle knows how competitive I am, and that next year we're gonna have to change that narrative. Finishing in third place with 238 points, Allard Rogers. I'd ask just the Interhouse captains to come to the stage when the winner is announced. The point difference between first and second place is 4. Last year it was 5. A small 4 points separate our champions from our second place. And it is my pleasure to announce that the 2018-2019 Interhouse winners with 244 points are Mackenzie Ellis.
Well done. Very good. "70 minutes are almost up. Almost time to say goodbye. Before we do that, it's the De Manu and Mana moment here, the passing of the torch, the leadership torch from this year to next year. So I invite this year's SEC to join me on stage for this moment. As they make their way to stage, please acknowledge them and thank them for their service and their leadership this year. So as tradition dictates, the final act of our closing ceremonies is the announcement of next year's Student Executive Committee that is made up of head prefect, 3 assistant head prefects for arts, academics, and athletics, ex officio members from the Brentwood Environmental Action Team, the BEAT, Student Activities Committee, SAC, Service Peer Assistance, Resource Counseling, SPARK, Grad President, and 8 house captains. So beginning in April, we invited grade 11s to apply for any leadership role that you see on stage here. Once endorsed by their house parents, the students and faculty were polled, and senior leaders, including house parents, reviewed the data and recommendations were made to my office. I applaud those that put their hands up to serve their school. They're already starting that leadership journey, and it takes a great deal of courage to put your hands up. And I thank you for that. At this time, I am honored to announce next year's SEC. When your name is called, please come to the stage, embrace your opposite number, and then quickly move to the side stage, this side over here, to my left, and we'll move to the next person. Before I announce these names, a quick reminder that all major award winners, trophy winners, and next year's SEC to meet on the north side here of the Arts Center here for pictures before you mingle with your parents, etc. after that. All trophies, I believe, Mr. Felix, go to the staff room. So if you're a trophy winner, you don't get to take it home. Please take your pictures and then return it to the staff room following the pictures. So we'll start with the beat. So if Haley Fear could step forward, please. The beat captain for next year is Sarah Richards. Nadia, the grad president, if you can step forward. The grad class of 2020 actually voted for this award. And the grad president next year is Desola Ogunlade. SAC, Alex Culberson, if you could make your way to the front, please. The SAC captain for next year is Susanna Graham. Spark. If Marquita could move up to the stage, or Sparkita as she's been known now to us. The Spark captain for next year is Sophia Khan. And we'll start with our house captains in alphabetical order. Alex House first, please, so Willamine can step forward. The Alex House captain for next year is Grace McNeil. Allard House, Haley. Allard House captain for next year is Georgia Guthrie. Ellis House, Sebastian. Ellis House captain for next year is Quinn Posley. Hope House, Phoebe. The Hope House captain for next year is Asia Kopp. If Chantal and Ronnie could step forward for Mackenzie House, please. Mackenzie House captain for 2019-20 is Victoria Dolgova. Privet House, Ben McDonald. Privet House captain for next year is Callum Blake Courier. Rogers House, Ian Grabber. Rogers House captain for next year is Ray Kondo. Abdullah for Whittle House. The Whittle House captain for next year is Will McNeil. Assistant Head Prefect for Arts, Maria Rousseau. Next year's Assistant Head Prefect for Arts is Ben Rousseau. The boss man, step up, please. Jacob Bossy. Assistant Head Prefect for Athletics next year is Reese Fogner-Ruckus. Tochi, if you can step forward, please. Assistant Head Prefect for Academics for next year is Amelia Hadfield. And finally, if Lulu could step forward and pass the torch to next year's head prefect for 2019-20. Olademije Olapoposa. A reminder that all major award winners and next year's SCC and this year's SCC to meet over there by the Arts Center for pictures right immediately after this ceremony. We invite everyone else for tea in Crooks Hall. And as head, I officially close the 2018-19 school year. Congratulations.